Hello, I'm excited today to bring you a video demonstration of the Ecobee 5 Pro Smart Thermostat. We're going to walk through configuring and explaining each of the menu control interfaces on the front panel, while also detailing the impact to the energy efficiency of your HVAC system. In addition, we'll set up the home occupancy sensors for added energy savings. A smart thermostat is one of the best smart home investments you can make, both from a quality of life standpoint and the ability to save you money. All right, so come join me.
This is the Ecobee 5 Pro. We did a previous installation video on it, link above. Thought it would be a good time to just go over the menu interface. Sometimes when you're trying to buy something, you're thinking, how does it really work and what are all of its features and functions? And you read it, but you're not really sure how it's going to be when you go to use it. On the front screen here, you have the humidity, temperature, and you have a temperature adjustment that you can press and hold and then change it. When you do that, it can prompt you want to change the temperature for 2 hours, 4 hours, until I'm home, or until I change it. So press until I change it. The other thing you have on the front screen here is a little weather icon. That weather icon is for your local city that you set up when you put in the zip code for your account. It'll show you the forecast and give you the next 4 days of weather. Over here to the right is the microphone icon if you have it set up for voice control. So you can do that through the online application. Next to the microphone, you have a little gear icon. It's a quick setting for if you were away, you wanted to walk out the house and you want to put it into the away comfort mode, you can do that. Or you come back home and you want to put it into home mode, you can do that. So get out of there. Ah, look at that. Humidity high alert, 61%. The indoor humidity is currently 61%. We have it set for 60. So actually showing 59 right now. So we've covered that. Now we'll go in here to the main menu settings. We'll just start here at the top. At the top you have the HVAC mode, whether you want it to be in cool mode or heat, auto or off. So we have it set for cool. And then the fan, how long you want the fan to run, a minimum of at least 5 minutes, up to 55 minutes. The dehumidification setting on it, we have it currently set to 60. It's interesting, online they recommend 70%, but on the thermostat here they say 60. I think 60 is a pretty good setting for that. So we'll go back out of the system. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jump down to the comfort settings before we get into the other, because I want to explain the comfort settings first. Normally when you set up the thermostat, you're only going to have home, away, and sleep, but in the online account, you can set up other comfort settings. So if you have different heating and cooling scenarios, let's say, you go away and you have animals at home, so maybe you want the temperature to go up if it's in the summer a little bit, but not too much. Then you could have a home, an away setting with the animals still at home. Whatever your scenarios are, but you can add multiple ones here. But normally it's just home, away, and sleep. So these are pretty self-explanatory. Home is whenever you're at home, and you have sensors that are monitoring that home activity. So there's 2 sensors participating in that, and you can decide on those sensors whether you want both sensors, or if you had 3 sensors, to detect your occupancy being at home, you can detect which one you want, so you can turn these on or off as you desire. So we go. Now you always have to have at least one, so cancel that. And the same thing for the away setting. You can control the heat and cooling. You have 2 participating sensors. You have to have at least one sensor on all the time. And then you have your sleep mode. This is where you may want just let's say you had a dedicated sensor for the bedroom, you could turn that one on and turn the other ones off so that it would only monitor inside the bedroom. So those are individually set heat and cooling controls, and like I said, you determine which sensors you want to be participating in that. So we'll cancel out of that. And we'll go back out of here. Now we'll jump back up here to the Ecobee Plus. And we have savings preference. This is based on the occupancy sensors detecting whether someone's at home or not, and how aggressively you want it to change the cooling or heating system to save energy. So back into that. And then smart home away. What that means is you basically are letting the occupancy sensor determine if someone is at home or not. After about 2 hours, if it doesn't detect motion in any of the rooms, it's going to enable the away mode, and that's what the smart home away enabled means. Okay, now we'll bop down here to sensors. You have a follow me enabled setting. And what this does is allow the sensors to detect the occupancy of the various rooms and then average a temperature across those occupancy sensors to give you your preferred comfort settings. And down below that, it shows you that the area where the thermostat is, which is where I'm standing right now, is occupied. And then you can determine which of those you want it to participate in as far as comfort settings. Here's the office. It says participating in one comfort setting, so you can say home, away, or sleep. Now when you pick these comfort settings for a particular sensor, each comfort setting has to have at least one participating sensor. So if I come in here and turn off all of these comfort settings and I come back over here to the thermostat, you'll see now that this is grayed out. And the reason it's grayed out is because, like I said, every comfort setting has to have at least one participating sensor. So if we come back into Office and we say sensor name, well, that's not what I wanted to do, participating comfort sensors, and I pick home for the office. So I want it to participate in the comfort setting when I'm home. And I come back into thermostat. Now I can turn off home on the thermostat. Now you also have sensor name. You can change the name of it based upon its location, or you can enter your own name. All right, that's the sensor settings. Next thing is we want to talk about the schedule. Now the online scheduling is somewhat easier than doing this through the thermostat, so you may want to set up your online account and do it through the schedule, but we'll walk through the process here just so you know how to do it. The easiest way to approach this is you can see that we have this Friday schedule set up. So your sleep time is determined from the Thursday before. You're home, which basically means you woke up at 8, you go away to work at 9, you're back home at 5, and then you're going to sleep at 11:30. So my recommendation is you set this up for one particular day, because once you set up the schedule for one day, if you had a work week like this, you can say copy Friday, and then you can just say copy Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and you can hit save. And now you can see on Tuesday, you have the same schedule, Wednesday you have the same schedule, etc. Now let's say on Sunday, this day here, the sleep is from Saturday, and Saturday is from Friday. So if you want to change the sleep on Sunday, you have to add another comfort setting. So because you can't have two sleeps, right? You're sleeping. So what you can do is you can say home. I know it's a little confusing, home, which means you woke up on Sunday, right? So you woke up on Sunday, And let's say you woke up at 8:30 a.m. You hit save. Now that you woke up on Sunday, you can add another comfort setting for sleep. But you can't do that until you actually wake up. Kind of makes sense, right? So now let's say instead of 11:30, which is on the standard weekly schedule, let's say on Sundays I want to get to bed relatively early. Let's pick 9 p.m. and hit save. So now when I bop over here to Monday, you will see that from Sunday, my sleep is now 9 p.m. So that is the way you would customize this. So once we copied all the schedules from Friday on over to all the other days, we changed the Monday by just going back in here to Sunday and adding that. I know that's a little confusing. If you have any questions, please post them below. Like I said, I think the scheduling is easier if you go into the online account. All right, so we've covered comfort settings. Next thing we'll do is go into the vacation mode. And here you can set up a vacation to tell it when you want to depart, schedule the departure date, departure time. So let's pick July, save, departure time, today. Okay, save. Go into here. And now you can determine what you want to have happen based on the cooling or heating. You can say the heating is off, cool is on, and then you can determine the temperature that you want that to be while you're gone on vacation. And then you can hit save. And save that. And you have your vacation set for today. So I'm going to delete that out of there. Delete. Next thing is reminders and alerts. It says we have one alert. That's probably the humidity alert that went off earlier. Yep, sure enough, high humidity alert. Kind of cool. Shows you that the humidity went above our threshold limit. So say OK. Go back. Now underneath of that we have preferences, where you can set your HVAC maintenance. Reminders are enabled. Frequency are 12 months, and the last service. So here we go, reminders enabled. Frequency, you can change the frequency to be reminded for the maintenance interval, and you have your last service. You can put in the date for that. Cancel, so we'll go back. Next is the furnace filter. Reminder is enabled. The frequency you can change just like you could before. Cancel. And then the last filter change. Really a neat feature. Difficult to remember when you change the last time you change a filter, so this has it built in, makes it easy for you to remember. You have a UV lamp setting. If you have that in your system, turn it on to remind you when to change it. A low temperature alert if you're in a cold climate and your temperature drops below this threshold, then it will alert you. It'll alert you both on the thermostat, on your online account, and on your telephone. You also have a high temperature alert. Then you have a low humidity alert. I have that disabled. But obviously I have the high humidity alert because we had one of those earlier. And then enable heating and cooling alerts, so those are enabled. So we go back out of preferences. And the next thing we're going to go into is settings. So here we have the date and time. You have a 12-hour format or a 24-hour format. The time can be set on the app itself. It cannot be changed here. Preferences. This is your temperature display, again, Fahrenheit or Celsius. You can have your heating range that you want to be able to control. You can adjust these accordingly. You also have the cooling range that you can adjust. Right now it's set from 65 to 92. The device name is the name that you will use with your smart speaker system to control the thermostat. If you set that up, you can actually enter your own name or use one of the predefined names. Alexa sounds. So for these sounds, you can determine whether you want it to perform like a speaker because it has the features built in. Underneath of that, there's screen brightness. So you can change the active screen brightness here, or you can change the standby screen brightness. So you could have it, set to off, or maybe you want it on all the time in a dim fashion. So there you go. You can change. And then down here you can say screen sleeps when in sleep mode. So, all right. Underneath that you have active to standby screen timer, disabled. Hold action, decide at time of change. This was on the front end of the video where we changed the temperature, and because we have it decide at time of change, it asked us what we wanted to do. You could select 2 hours or 4 hours, or until you change it again. So this is the smart recovery section. So you can enable or disable it. The best way to explain this is, let's say you're away and you have your temperature set for 82 degrees while you're away, Fahrenheit. And when you're home, let's say you have it set for 79 degrees. If you enable this, this will anticipate the time that you're to arrive home, and it will kick on early enough to be able to reach that set point at the lower temperature. That's what this cooling smart recovery enabled means. All right, that covers the preferences. Get out of that. Wi-Fi is the standard Wi-Fi. You put in your password, connect to your router. HomeKit is if you have Siri and you want to set up your hub for your Apple device. Okay, next we'll go into the installation settings, advanced options. We'll go into equipment. This will just confirm the wiring of how the system is wired. It shows whether you have a 1-stage or 2-stage heating and air conditioning system. You can go down here to reconfigure equipment. Here, say homeowner, confirm the wiring, say yes. And if you've added something additional since the installation was put in, you can add them here and then set them up. Go next, confirm Fahrenheit or Celsius. Yes, we have a furnace. You definitely want this thing controlled by the thermostat. There you go. So that takes care of the reconfigure equipment. Back into here. Underneath of that, under equipment, there's something called thresholds. And you can set auto heat cool enabled, which I would recommend. Heating cooling minimum delta. So it's the difference in the temperature between the desired heat and cool temperature. So if you have a situation where the furnace and the air conditioner may be running, you can set a minimum delta between those two kicking on so you don't have them both coming on and off at almost at the same time. Configure staging. I'm not really sure what that is. Maybe someone can enlighten me on that. Next is compressor minimum cycle time, which is the minimum amount of time you want the compressor to run. You may want to verify this with your HVAC technician. And this is the minimum temperature at which you want the compressor to run. Of course, you don't want it to run in freezing weather, so you may want to adjust that maybe a little bit even more above. Let's pick 40. This is the overcool max for the humidity setting. So it's the maximum amount of overcool that you will allow the system to run to reach humidity levels. So if you're getting outside your humidity thresholds, you may want to increase it. This is the minimum time the heat would be on. In this case, probably set it for at least 5 minutes. Minimum time compressor is on. Again, you may want to confirm this with your HVAC, but they say 5 minutes is the default, so we'll leave it set for that. This is an interesting setting, the temperature correction. If you have the thermostat in direct sunlight and you think it's running a little hot compared to another area of your house, you can adjust the temperature accordingly here to make sure that the thermostat is reading the correct temperature. Again, with humidity correction, or you can compare the two and decide whether you need to adjust the humidity on the thermostat or not. Next is your thermal protect. This is in case one of the sensors is errant in its temperature reading. Let's say it was in direct sunlight and was getting overly heated. If it went above 10 degrees outside the normal temperature range of the other sensors, then it would turn that sensor off and would no longer be monitoring it. Installer code is disabled. Okay, so that covers all your thresholds. Test equipment, this is for your HVAC person. So we'll get out of the installation settings. And then we go down here to access control. If you enable the security code, and you hit save, now you can individually control what settings require an access code. So I'm just going to just disable that. Then you have a reset button if you want to reset all the preferences, or you wanted to get a new thermostat and you're giving it to somebody else and you want to clear it out the memory, you have a reset function here. All right, the only other thing there is here is the about, and this has the model, device name, version, serial number. It has your Wi-Fi, has a support function here, web, email, and telephone number. And that's the main menu. Would really enjoy hearing back from you on what thermostats you have used, different brands or models. Have they helped save on your energy bill? What things did you find particularly useful? What things did you find frustrating? If you have any questions or comments, post them below. Please hit that subscribe button. We would welcome your support, and have a great and wonderful automation day.